Dr. Crocker, thank you so much for coming. Of course, you know me and Ali already, so we don't need to introduce ourselves. As you know, we're going to start, if it's okay with you, we'll start with these interview questions about your background and some of your thoughts. And thank you for telling me which ones are going to be covered in your presentation. Is there anything you want to say or ask before I do that?
No, it's a pleasure to see and learn more about the students that we have this year. Hope to see you in the future in my class.
It's a great group. So first of all, tell us something about your early upbringing. Where were you born and what was life like there?
Yeah, I was born in Argentina, the city called La Plata, Argentina. My dad was a professor of chemistry at the University of La Plata, and he worked on electrophysics, which don't ask me what it is. I read his publications and I cannot understand anything at all. My mom was a piano teacher, but she didn't work outside the home. We had some students coming to our house, but primarily she dedicated her life to her family. Myself and my sisters were three. I went to the University of La Plata too, and I became a lawyer. I practiced law in Argentina for a few years before I came to the US. And well, here I am.
Fantastic. All right. Please describe some of the courses you teach, especially graduate ones.
Yeah, I teach both my specialty, the Latin American politics. I teach the seminar in comparative politics class, which is going to be taught next spring, which with an emphasis on Latin America. I teach international law and organizations, I'm doing Model UN right now that is open for both undergrad and graduate students. So if you're in Springfield, perhaps you want to join Model UN. We end up going to the United Nations in the spring, and we are representing Singapore this year.
And yeah, so Ali, did you live there? I know you studied Singapore. Sorry. Let me go on to this next question.
You're talking about me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Whether I lived there? Oh yeah, I was there for 9 years.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
That's where I did I was on the Upper West Side.
No, in Singapore.
Yes, I was in Singapore for I did my research in this.
Oh, then we need to bring you to class. Oh, yeah. I'm going to bring you then, Ali.
Because I thought you were talking about. I know you're talking about MUN, and you said New York.
No, I thought no, Singapore.
But they're representing.
Oh yeah,
their country. Yeah. This year.
I have a good presentation in Singapore actually.
Yeah.
I can present. Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes, I'll talk to you later then.
Of course.
Sorry, that was a bit of a curveball. I didn't mean to do something unexpected.
Oh, no problem.
And welcome, Elise. So next question is, how would you describe your teaching style and teaching philosophy?
Well, essentially, I do generally when I'm teaching in person and also online, I mix up between lecture and discussion. Probably about half of the course is lecture, introduce you to new terminology, theoretical approaches, and so on. And then we do discussion, either of articles or case studies. I use case studies, particularly in my international law and organizations class, from different parts of the world over different topics. For example, when we deal with territory in international law, we deal with Gibraltar and the situation they are in between Spain and Great Britain and the UK, which is quite interesting because, we don't read that many news about Gibraltar sometimes. So it's good to learn about this country and so on.
All right. Why do you think it is important to study what you study?
Well, oh, that's a good question. I think it's important. What's interesting, my story is very interesting. You know, when I was doing my PhD, I was studying the Inter-American Commission of Women, which is the first actually gender-based international commission. It was in the Organization of American States, not the UN. It predates the UN and Commission of Women. And what we did, you know, I was studying and I wrote some papers and I was going to do a PhD on that, and the chair of my committee died. So I had to scramble to look for another member in my committee, chair in my committee, and they didn't know anything about the Inter-American Commission of Women. So he told me, you know, I cannot help you with this. You have to probably find another topic and something more current, he was telling me. Yeah, so actually I started working on gender quotas because I took a class with the now chair of my committee, and we've been, you know, and it was a really novel topic. Then there were only a few articles written about, but if you go back right now, the scholarship on gender quotas throughout the world is very substantive. So I'm so glad that I was able to change the topic for this topic, and I've been able to write and research a lot. And I think it's important because today the idea of the gender balance or the inclusion of women in politics, it's a topic that has become very substantive even outside the US, more so outside the US, I would say. If you look at the United Nations sustainability goals, and it's a goal number 5, that gender balance has to be achieved in 2030, and that's a goal that many countries have today.
All right. So what specific topics are you writing on these days, or is that something you're going to cover in your presentation?
Yeah, I am going to cover in a presentation, but it's changed a little bit now. I'm doing more of a collaboration with my colleague from Mexico. We're going to be writing on a comparative analysis between Mexico and Argentina, and that's going to be my later chapter on my research. Yeah.
All right. What would an MA exam or thesis look like under your supervision?
Yeah, as you probably know already, the thesis is more of a longer, probably more thoughtful, and you have to introduce a novel idea to us, so it takes more time to write about. So I would pick up a thesis if you are very interested in a specific topic and you've been doing research throughout your MA. Wouldn't be something you should pick up the semester you're doing the closure. The comprehensive exam is a little bit easier in the sense that you know, you doing in the course of a semester, you actually do research on a topic, you write an annotated bibliography, and then what we do, I think most of us do, we ask you questions over the topics that you selected when you decide to take the exam. And my questions are generally 2 very broad questions. One, since most of my students are the ones who are interested in international relations or comparative politics, one deals more with a global topic, and the other one deals more of a comparative topic, so case studies.
All right, final question. Recalling your experiences as a graduate student, what advice would you give to our MA students?
Don't find a very old chair. Get a younger chair, so you know you don't have to change your topic like it happened to me. No, seriously, I would say that just think about something you're passionate about. I think probably everyone must have told you this, but you cannot write or do research on a topic you're, it doesn't appeal to you. It has to be something you're really interested in, because you're going to be spending either a full semester or perhaps even more if you're deciding to write a thesis. When we did our PhDs, it took 2 or 3 years to finish it. So it's a long commitment, and you better be passionate about it. I'm sure you're going to have times and days that you're going to hate the topic because you're tired of doing all that research. But after you're done with it and you learn a lot from it, you're going to be really excited about telling people how much you know about your specific topic, including us when you do the oral defense.